I know what you're thinking. Finally. For those wondering where I stand with the 2015 Robots in Disguise range, I'm being as selective with it as I am with Beast Machines and the Unicron trilogy. Sorry, but the figures, while not necessarily bad, don't really grab me all that much, though I have at least a couple lined up. From the first wave, we're gonna look at everyone's favourite Dino Bruiser, Grimlock. Some other time, and instead I'm reviewing Grimlock from the 2001 Robots in Disguise line, and the second member of the build team. I love namesakes. I know excavators aren't the most exciting vehicles ever, but in and of itself, I can't find much fault with this mode. Novel concept for a toy reviewer, huh? Of the build team, I'd say he has the others beat in looks and functionality. Most toy construction vehicles tend to be overly simplistic, blocky, and thus very play-schoolish. Here we have fairly realistic proportions. The sculpting is on par with Hightower. I like the paint job, as well as his general colour scheme, especially since they didn't go the obvious route, initially. As you'd imagine, they couldn't work in actual rubber tracks. Instead, he rolls on 4 wheels placed underneath the treads. The platform rotates all the way around, and the boom can move at 3 points, including the bucket. For attack mode, deploy this claw from the underside of the boom. Though it's spring-loaded, there's no button, lever, or switch to activate it. You either have to use a tool or dig it out with your nails. If I had to nitpick, the combiner connector isn't very well hidden, and even that's down to how you display him. Grimlock's transformation is the most complex of the build team, and the robot itself has character to be sure. It certainly reflects his bio in that he looks harsh, even if he's anything but, especially since unlike the others, he has claws instead of hands. The problem is that the arms are poorly designed. The shoulders don't really lock in place, but worse than that, the arms are oddly articulated. The shoulders are on vertical swivels, the elbows are on restricted ball and sockets, and the forearms and claws use metal pin joints. They just end up looking crooked most of the time. The rest of him is marginally posable. I count at least 15 points of articulation. Grimlock seems to have the same stern or serious expression as Hightower. It's hard to tell since his mouth is sculpted so softly. Since he can't wield his shovel arm, it instead plugs into one of 4 spots on his back, including his head, which just looks weird. So he ends up resembling virtually every Scorpion transformer ever. Between that and the claws, I see this working as some kind of pre-Beast Wars Scorponok. Come on, FunPub, do us proud. Despite his alt mode, Grimlock's probably my least favourite of the build team, though not by much. As with Hightower, I acknowledge this toy has much to do, but those arms are just a mess, and hurt his solo play value. And then there's his limb modes for landfill. Yeah, we'll get to them. I still recommend him, just slightly less than his teammates. Next time, what say we delve into a different franchise altogether? Until then, happy April Fool's Day!